In this video, we're playing the fastest Reanimator deck in Pauper. This deck list is featuring cards like Lotus Petal, Dark Ritual, Simian Spirit Guide, but today we're speeding it up using Putrid Imp and Dragon's Breath. This list is awesome. Let's go check it out. Pauper Rakdos Reanimator and Pauper, you heard me correctly. Obviously you have broken cards like Lotus Petal, Dark Ritual, Simian Spirit Guide, but today we're even increasing that speed using Putrid Imp, a 1-mana black 1/1 creature that you can discard a card from your hand and give it flying. This is relevant because we're in Ulamog's Crusher deck and we need to get this card to the graveyard. So a 1 black mana discard outlet is pretty good when you play Dark Ritual, and then you could follow it up with Exhume. In today's video, we're also playing Dragon's Breath to give the Ulamog's Crusher haste, which means that Annihilator 2 trigger will protect your Ulamog. It will mean that your opponent can't likely cast their removal spells. That's what we're looking to accomplish here. And the reason that we're playing Dragon's Breath today, and not Bitter Reunion, a card that I used to love, is that we now have 8 cycling large creatures between Gloomfang Marauder and Troll of Khazad-dûm. So you don't need as many discard outlets as you did in the past, which means that we can play a dedicated haste slot today. So this is the first time in a long time I've actually only played 12 discard outlets: Putrid Imp, Faithless Looting, Insolent Neonate. So we're more compact than we've ever been, and I believe that's going to help us be even faster, but also more resilient, which doesn't make a lot of sense until you think about how the deck functions as an engine, and having that Annihilator trigger will make you more resilient. In the sideboard, speaking of resiliency, we have Duress to hit removal spells, Pyroblast for counter spells, Unexpected Fang for those burn decks, and then Cast into the Fire to clear blockers, but also Relic of Progenitus. That is my short and sweet deck tech. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. But also, if you have any ideas or suggestions, put those down there too. I'd love to hear from you. But for now, we're going to hop on into the first match. I hope to see you there. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, like theepicsforum.com/shop, or submitting a donation deck via theepicsforum.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Welcome to the first match. We're on the draw, and I have a pretty good opening hand. So speaking of Putrid Imp allowing us to be faster, we could play this on turn 1, discard our Gloomfang Marauder, and then turn 1 Exhume. Our opponent plays a basic... We actually hit the Ulamog's Crusher. Wow. Okay. So let's play Putrid Imp. So the question is, do I disrespect a Spell Pierce here? We'll play a Lotus Petal. I mean, I think we're supposed to disrespect. Discard the Ulamog's Crusher. Sacrifice the Lotus Petal for a black, Simian Spirit Guide, and Exhume. We're tapping a blue, I don't like this. Mental Note. They missed. Okay, looks like we're getting a turn 1 Ulamog's Crusher. We need them to not have a removal spell here. And if they're mono blue, it would be a bounce spell. If they're Dimir, it would be Snuff Out. We need them to not have either in this spot if we want to win. This is actually a pretty bad matchup for the Reanimator deck, so you need to get a little bit lucky in order to win. They cast Brainstorm, so that's going to take out a bounce spell as an answer. They had the Aquafire, and they have Snuff Out, or Aquifer, I'm sorry. But that's unfortunate. So they had the free removal spell to answer us here. Okay, looks like we're going to get in for 1. We had the broken opener, but tough matchup. They cycle a Lorien Revealed. They get another dual land. And that's a turn 3 Tolarian Terror. We're going to cycle the Gloomfang Marauder. Or I'm sorry, I keep on saying Marauder. It's Gloomfang Mauler. I want it to be Marauder, it's just not. Okay, it looks like we fizzled out here. They're about to untap and lock down this game. I'm good with going to game number 2. Bummer. Okay, so let's bring in Duress. And in control matchups, I think you don't need to be as fast. You can board out some of your speed. So we're going to board out Simian Spirit Guide. I also think you can board out Dark Ritual. Like, just being fast doesn't really matter. The question is, do you want to bring in Cast Into the Fire? I've been looking at some Dimir Terror sideboards recently for Cycle Storm purposes, and I haven't seen a lot of relics or Nile spell bombs, things like that. But I have seen a lot of like Rotted Reunion, so I'm not sure if I want Cast Into the Fire or not, because it doesn't do anything else. Like, it's pretty bad if they don't have it. So I think I'm just going to submit. On the play for game number 2. Sure, we'll try this. Also, if I had played the Gloomfang on turn 1 instead of the what is it called? The Ulamog's Crusher, we might have been able to win that game. Alright, so this looks like a turn 2 Crusher with Pyroblast backup. We'll play the Lotus Petal here. Pass the turn. They have the Aquifer. So we could try to play this more slowly and wait to try to Faithless Looting into Duress. That's a choice we have here. I think I'm going to Looting now. We'll flashback Faithless Looting. Discard the Lotus Petal. Let's get rid of the Mountain. Pass the turn. Yeah, they kept a do nothing hand, so they probably have a snuff out. We'll Faithless Looting again. There's a Troll. Discard the Neonate and Troll. Play the Swamp. And then we'll play out Putrid Imp. Which, we have Threshold, so now this is a 2/2 Imp. End step, they Brainstorm. And then in their upkeep, they use Lorien Revealed to shuffle their deck. They play a basic, okay. Another Ulamog's Crusher. Let's cast Exhume. They Spell Pierce. I will attempt a Pyroblast. Exhume? We'll bring back the Troll of Khazad-dûm. So it has built-in Snuff Out protection by being black, so hopefully that will allow us to cross the finish line here. They Mental Note. They could have done that in response to the Exhume, but chose not to. They have land number 4. They have Cast Down into Tolarian Terror. And another Terror. Wow. Okay. This deck is certainly powerful. We will flashback a Faithless Looting. Discard 2 large creatures. I guess I'll discard Putrid Imp to give this Putrid Imp flying. We'll attack. And when Putrid Imp has Threshold, we can't block. So there's no point in leaving this on defense. Yeah, it would have been nice if I could have drawn a Duress in the beginning of this game, but we went 33% of our deck without ever finding one. We'll play a Insolent Neonate, and they counter spell. So that will be the ball game. Unfortunate. We're starting this league off with a very fast 0-1, but there's still 4 more rounds. We're going to, win some matches, I guarantee it. And I'll see you in the second match. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. Unfortunate, we've opened up our hand for match number 2, and with a single mana, this would be a turn 1 Troll of Khazad-dûm with haste. Unfortunately, we have no mana in this hand, so I believe you're supposed to mulligan. Okay, well, this is interesting. So you have Crusher, you have the Imp, and you have Dragon's Breath, but what you don't have is a land, or any way to cast this Dread Return. So if you keep this, you're really hoping to draw a land for your draw step. And then with that, you're only 1 mana away from hard casting Dread Return. This is insane, but I'm going to keep it. We'll bottom the second copy of Ulamog's Crusher. No, not twice. Come on, this deck isn't even that popular. Ah, what a bummer. I've played so much Pauper the last week, and I haven't run into Dimir Terror at all. Yep. We found Exhume, but I mean, I need a land. They cycle a Lorien Revealed. They grab a basic island. Dark Ritual. Play out another Lotus Petal. Spellstutter Sprite. So they're actually on Dimir Fairies. Okay. Let's attempt a Dark Ritual. We'll play the Putrid Imp. Discard Ulamog's Crusher. Discard the Dragon's Breath. Zoom. Dragon's Breath will attach itself. And now our Crusher has haste. We go to combat, we swing, and it annihilates twice, so it's probably going to eat up the Spellstutter Sprite in a land. We need to hope that they don't have any removal in their hand. They have 4 cards. They're about to drop to 5. Augur of Bolas is a good sign. And they find a Brainstorm. So they missed again. We find our land. And they just conceded. Yes. Wow, we got away with one there. Very lucky. At least it's not Dimir Terror. We'll bring in the Pyroblasts. Once again, I think you're supposed to just word down on acceleration. This isn't necessarily a speed game. Wow. I did not think we were going to win that. Very good hand. We will keep. Turn 1, Fairy Seer. Okay. They put 2 cards on the bottom. Faithless Looting. I'm interested in playing a Faithless Looting here. And double protection spell. I like that. I'm actually going to get rid of the Putrid Imps. We don't need those, and I want the Troll of Khazad-dûm to cycle for a land. They Brainstorm. They play an Aquifer. Okay. So they did not have a shuffle effect. We will cycle the Troll, pick up a Geothermal Bog, draw for turn, Brusher. Let's just play the Bog and pass. They draw and then Lorraine revealed, so they wanted one of the cards that they put on top. They attack with a Fairy Seer. They have 5 cards left in their hand. Basic Swamp wasn't a bad draw. Let's play Duress. If they spell Stutter Sprite, I'm going to Pyroblast it. Counter spell. I will Pyroblast to that. Now Duress resolves. Double Cast Down and a Dispel. We'll take a Cast Down. Pass the turn. So Cast Down, Dispel, and then the Nijitsu creature. Augur of Bolas. I'm good with that resolving. They find a Lorraine revealed. They cycle it. It's a basic, sure. So that guarantees their ability to make me discard 2 cards next turn. Need to find another copy of Duress. I'll play the Swamp, and then let's flashback Faithless Looting. Okay. Discard the Crusher and Putrid Imp. We will pass the turn. No blocks. They put in their Nijitsu creature. I have to discard 2 cards now, so it's going to be the Troll and Pyroblast. So the Neonate, by keeping this, gives me one more look to find that Duress. So we're kind of all in on finding Duress here if we want to win this game. Instead, we found another Pyroblast. I guess we'll Pyroblast the Fairy Seer. And then we'll... Why would I do it in that order? That's so dumb. Now they get to bring back their Fairy Seer. Oh, what was I thinking? That was so silly. Why would I do that? I promise you, I have played Magic before. I swear I have played this game. It might not look like it, but sometimes I make mistakes. It happens. They play the Cast Down. They have Dispel and 2 unknown cards. We draw a Looting. We'll play Faithless Looting. So the reason, like, we would discard it to this card anyway. So by playing the Looting, I might be able to hit like a Dragon's Breath. Or double Reanimate spell. Okay, I'm going to go to game number 3. That game did not go how I wanted it to. Let's try it again. On the play for game number 3. No lands. I think that this is a keep. We'll get rid of the Neonate. Really need to draw land number 2 for this hand to function. Play a Duress. Take their Preordain. We will pass the turn. They play turn 1 Aquifer. We find Lotus Petal. So I can Looting looking to spike land number 2 and then get a 7/7. Or I can take the guaranteed land next turn. I think I'm supposed to just take the guaranteed land next turn. Play the Geothermal Bog and we'll pass. They play Island. And they do not play the Fairy Seer. Disrespect. Play Exhume. They drew Counterspell, which would make sense. Because they didn't tap out, but like, I thought it might have been a bluff, but either way, we have the second Exhume here. And now they'll play the Fairy Seer. They have double Hydroblast in hand. And they put 2 cards on top. I don't like to see that. Alright, we will play Mountain to play around Spell Pierce. And then Exhume. We'll put 2/1/1 counters on our Gloomfang Mauler. Another Fairy Seer. And they put 1 on top, 1 on the bottom. They cast a Brainstorm. Bajuka Bog. Okay. You got it. They attack for 1. I cannot block. I go to 19. We find a Troll. Swing. And I'm going to just pass here. I don't really need to put land number 5 into play. They have a Thorn. So now if they leave back one creature, they can block my Mauler. And they're not going to swing at all. Okay, they have 3 cards in hand. Putrid Imp, that could steal Monarch. Actually, no, they have flying blockers. Forgive me, I was wrong. I believe I just have to pass here. And they're just going to protect the Monarch. We draw a Crusher. Let's attempt the Faithless Looting. Let's see if they put back the Hydroblasts. They let it resolve. Okay. We'll discard Crusher and Looting. We're only 1 mana away from hardcasting this Troll. We play another land. Chainer's Edict. Goodbye, Putrid Imp. Okay. They're back up to 5 cards in hand. We draw the Swamp. Play the Troll. They got me. These blue-black decks are not what we want to face, so unfortunate start to this league. We're 0-2. Let's see if maybe we can face some non-Dimir decks. That would be nice. Match number 3 coming right up. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Token Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $14.99. This combo token pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens. That includes our classic Storm and mana tokens, as well as fan favorites such as Goblins, Squirrels, and Slime Time Live. But that's not all. We've expanded this token pack to cover a variety of formats with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. I'll be honest, this has been a rough start to the league, but we're in a new match. We're just going to try to win this one. And here we have 2 discard outlets, no reanimation, no large creature. I think you're supposed to send this back. This is a turn 2 Troll of Khazad-dûm. I'm into that. We'll put back a mountain. Our opponent plays basic forest into Arbor Elf. Well, I think we've done it. I think we're actually not facing Dimir. I mean, our opponent could play, Dimir Aquifer next turn or whatever it's called, Contaminated Aquifer. But, I'm not so convinced. Instead, they're probably destroying my land, and they do. Alright, let's cycle the Troll. Go grab another Swamp. Dark Ritual. Okay, so it's Dark Ritual. Cycle the Troll. We'll go search out a Geothermal Bog, and then Exhume! Getting back the Troll. Pass the turn. They make some more mana, and they destroy another land. We'll play the Geothermal Bog, and let's attack. Hiya! Our opponent finds their 3rd land. They now have 4 mana. They swing back at me. That's not very kind. I go to 19. Ulamog's Crusher. Let's attack. Swing, swing. They go to 8. Let's play a Faithless Looting. We find an Exhume. Technically, I think in hindsight, I was supposed to looting pre-combat, because if I had hit Exhume plus Dragon's Breath, I could have attacked with my Crusher. So, an oversight on my part. Discard the looting. Play Lotus Petal. And Exhume! Getting back Ulamog's Crusher. Oh, you don't like your lanes being destroyed, huh? Okay. Let's see how it is. We'll go to the next game. So you could bring in Cast Into the Fire to hit something like Relic of Progenitus, but it also hits their mana creatures. So I think Cast Into the Fire is pretty interesting in this matchup. You're not really allowed to board out discard outlets with this build, so don't do that. I think you could probably shave 2 copies of Dragon Breath and maybe like 1 Seeming Spirit Guide. Nope, can't keep hands that don't function. We will be shuffling down to 6. This hand seems fine. We'll get rid of the Gloomfang Mauler. Turn 1 Land Elf, classic. We draw a basic Swamp, we'll play it and pass. Utopia Sprawl, okay. And they pick red this time, so they get to untap the land that has a Sprawl on it. 4 mana on the 2nd turn, and they're going to destroy my land. Well, we will cycle and go get another Swamp. Okay, they have 2 cards left in their hand. They have tons of mana. Let's Faithless Looting. Cast Into the Fire and Ulamog's Crusher. I don't think I'm going to need this Troll, so we'll discard that. Pass. They play a Llanowar Visionary. Another land, down to 2 cards, so they can make 4 mana here. They destroy my mountain. They have 1 card left. We draw a Neonate. I'm going to exile the Simian Spirit Guide and Faithless Looting. We found Dragon Breath, and I'll discard this Cast into the Fire. Player land. Might as well play out the Lotus Petal as well, and we'll pass. So our next card will be 25% of the way through the deck without finding Exhume or Dread Return. Annoyed Altasaur into Avenging Hunter. That was good for them. Wow. Okay. So I know when I've lost the game of Magic, we're not going to win this one now. We can go ahead and shuffle into game number 2. So let's say I even drew Exhume on our turn, right? The only reanimation spell I could cast. We get Ulamog's Crusher with the Dragon Breath on it. We attack, they sacrifice 2 lands. They can then just block with their Altasaur and Visionary, and then I die to the Avenging Hunter. So there's no point playing out the rest of those games. It's just kind of a waste of time. I will resubmit. On the play. So we have a Dread Return. I think I'm going to keep this. Dark Ritual would be a better draw, or a good draw. I'd also be okay drawing something like Exhume. We'll play turn 1 Insolent Neonate. Pass the turn. Classic Arbor Elf Opener. Draw for turn. Dark Ritual, that'll do it. Discard a Crusher. We drew another Lotus Petal. So we should cycle the Gloomfang. Go get a basic Swamp. Play the Swamp. Dark Ritual. And then Dread Return on the Ulamog's Crusher. Good luck, Forest Gamer. And our opponent concedes. Alright, well, we got a match win. You know, that's something. We're 1-2. Let's try to get the next 2 matches. If you're still watching, make sure to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. While you're near the description, here's a reminder to use our affiliate links if you're going to make a purchase from Amazon, Card Hoarder, or TCG Player. Just above those affiliate links, you'll find our social channels. Make sure to join those to connect with us. Let's get another win. We're in match number 4. We're on the draw, and I'm going to keep this. We don't have any black mana, but we do have a Troll and a Gloomfang Mauler. Ooh, okay. Looks like we're facing Gardens, which I feel like I'm saying it a lot this video, but not a matchup we want to face. I'm just going to play the Mountain for now and pass. Basically, when you play a deck like Reanimator, you want to avoid black decks. And getting paired into Gardens plus double Dimir decks is not what you want. I've been playing a lot of Cycle Storm leagues trying to figure out my sideboard for those decks. And one thing that I found is that the leagues have just been a lot of red and Boros, at least for me. And now I joined with a deck that's supposed to sort of prey on those decks, and I don't get those matchups. So it's been kind of tough so far. On our opponent's end step, we will cycle and grab a Swamp. We find Exhume. Okay. Let's Faithless Looting and see if we can hit a Dragon Breath. The answer was no. Okay, we'll discard 2 creatures. Player basic Swamp. Lotus Petal. And let's Exhume. I could return the Crusher. Crusher is the highest upside. But if they have a Snuff Out, we get wrecked. I think the pick is the Gloomfang Mauler. We have a 7/7 Menace. And then I'll play out Lotus Petal and we'll pass the turn. Another Colony Garden. And another Exhume. Let's go to combat. Hiya, swing for 7. They're going to double block. Okay. And then they Reckoner's Bargain. We'll cycle another Mauler. Grab Swamp. Play the Swamp. And then Exhume again. Gaining back another Gloomfang Mauler. So we have a pair of 7/7 creatures. With Menace. Tithing Blade. Okay. And another Tithing Blade. Brutal. Just devastating. We will flash back a Faithless Looting. Discard Lotus Petal Spirit Guide. Pass the turn. And a Bazooka Bog. Alright. We can go to the second game. Once again, no need to just sit here and lose slowly. I value my time. I'm sure you value yours as well. We'll bring in Duress to hit removal spells. You don't need Pyroblast here. Cast into the Fire is interesting. It does clear the way of blockers. I don't know if it's a card I really want, though. I'm going to take out Simian Spirit Guide. Let's try this. On the play. So this hand is just missing a large creature. We can try this. Play a turn 1 Geothermal Bog and pass. Our best draw is obviously Ulamog's Crusher. They have a turn 1 Colony Garden. We draw another Dragon Breath. Play Putrid Imp and pass. Tithing Blade. I'll discard a copy of Dragon Breath. Okay, our Putrid Imp has died. Duress. We'll take the cast down. Player land and pass the turn. They play an Ichor Wellspring. Golgari Rot Farm, picking up the Colony Garden. We find a Troll. Okay, cycle. Go grab another Bog. We'll play the Bog. And then Exhume. Whoops, I tapped the wrong mana. We will Exhume, getting back the Troll. Dragon Breath. Yes, I would like it to go on there. Might as well play out the Lotus Petal. And we'll throw away the Petal to deal an extra damage this turn. So now they'll take 7. Deadly Dispute, sacrificing the Ichor Wellspring. And another Tithing Blade. Yep. Land number 5, we'll play it and pass. Another Deadly Dispute. And a Reckoner's Bargain. They're up to 15 life. They have 9 cards in hand. 8 after they play their land for the turn. And now a Relic. Okay, it seems like we're just getting smushed. We're 1-3 now. The best I can do is get 50 play points back. Let's try to do that in the 5th and final match. With Card Hoarder, renting your favorite combo deck has never been easier. There isn't a more affordable solution for Magic Online. Want to play the deck in this video? Check out the pinned comment below to easily rent the deck from Card Hoarder. Did you know you can rent the Epic Storm from Card Hoarder for as little as 7 tickets a week? We've made it simple to do so by including a button to rent the entire deck at theepicstorm.com/decklist. Okay, the final round. So we're on the draw, and the best thing that this hand can do is a turn 3 Mauler. We have better cards in our deck. We should just mulligan this. Okay, so this is an Exhume away from greatness. I am good to keep this hand. I do have some thoughts on the deck list as well. I mean, maybe I'm just being too, emotional or whatever. But I feel like perhaps, and I could be wrong, but perhaps the turbo builds aren't where you want to be. No, not again. Not like this. Alright, we will Faithless Looting and hope to draw the nuts. Dark Ritual Exhume. We did not. Okay, so we'll discard those 2. Pass. So Dark Ritual or Lotus Petal or Simian Spirit Guide are my best draws, but maybe you just shouldn't be on a hyper fast list anymore. Maybe you should just be on a list that has main deck Duress and other interactive cards instead of trying to force your way through everything, because we just can't beat decks with black in it. Alright, so we can Dread Return and attack, but they have stuff to sacrifice here. So we lose to a Tithing Blade or Cast Down. So we get the Dragon Breath, and now all they have to do is sacrifice their artifact and their plant token. And we'll pass the turn. There's the Tithing Blade. I could have taken a turn off to play the Neonate, but oh my, they had Bazooka Bog too! Oh, come on. Not like this. Looting. Discard the creatures. Pass the turn. Brutal. We'll play the Neonate. Pass. They cycle their own Troll of Khazad-dûm. And a Crypt Rats. Sure. We draw a Dread Return. We'll attempt to bring back a Mauler. And we'll pass. They use the Crypt Rats. I'm going to discard the Simian Spirit Guide. Another Tithing Blade? Not yet, at least. Deadly Dispute. Chainer's Edict. Sure. Draw. We'll play a Putrid Imp. Pass the turn. Another Crypt Rats. And then they use the Crypt Rats immediately. We draw a land. I guess I'll flash back Faithless Looting. Keep the Faithless Looting, discard the other 2. Pass the turn. Avenging Hunter. Okay. We can go to the next game. Been a tough league. We'll bring in Duress. Taking out Simian Spirit Guide. We are on the play. Sure. Play a mountain and pass. So they can Duress my Duress. Cycle the Troll. We'll grab a Swamp. We rip Exhume. Okay. Pass. They play a Colony Garden. We'll play the Dragon Breath. Yeah, attack for 6. Let's make it 7. Send it back. Play Deadly Dispute. Blood Fountain. Okay. It looks like we get a turn to hit them with Troll here. Play out the Lotus Petal. Go to combat, we swing. We'll pump. So this would put them to 5. I'm going to keep my Lotus Petal. I don't think there's a meaningful difference between 5 and 4. We'll send it back. They Deadly Dispute again. They use the Blood token. I refuse to believe that you've gone through 25% of your deck and haven't found a removal spell. That's a Spell Bomb. We'll play the land. Go to combat. And there's Cast Down. We'll hard cast the Troll. Dragon Breath triggers. Do they use the Spell Bomb? They're going to let it happen. Okay, pass. They play a Lembas. So they can scry, draw a card, but they can also gain 3 life. They cycle their own Troll, so now they can create a basic swamp. They do that. They have 5 cards left in hand. Tithing Blade. Yep. We have 6 lands. You need 7 for the Gloomfang Mauler. They play a Thorn. And now they can block my Mauler as well, because they have 2 creatures here. I will attempt to Exhume. Them having the second Nile Spellbomb is actually very good for them here. And then in response, we will cycle. But they have the second Spellbomb. We will grab the Bog. There's 2 lands left in my deck. I'm just done. Okay, so we got smushed. 1-4. This is the worst league I've played in some time. So, I mean, when you play this deck, you didn't want to face black decks, and I faced one non-black deck the entire league. So I think that says something about the construction of the deck. I think if you wanted to play Reanimator, I think you should pivot towards Dimir. And with Dimir, you lose the speed, but I don't think you want the speed. I think you want 4 Spell Pierce and 4 Duress in your main deck, and just make sure that you're able to stuff these creatures down your opponent's throat. So I would personally move to 4 Spell Pierce, 4 Duress in the main deck, and just protect your creatures, basically protect the Queen strategy, and win that way. I don't know if the red cards are even that good, but feel free to let me know what you think. You could play Careful Study, there's Hapless Researcher. All you're losing is Simian Spirit Guide and Dragon's Breath. Obviously, you lose Pyroblast, but I don't know. I haven't been impressed by this. If you have any ideas, put those down below. I mean, I'm going to play Reanimator again in the future. I mean, I do enjoy these strategies, but it just feels like this type of build is only good when mono red is by far the best thing, and that's not the case anymore. So, tough league, it happens, but not going to let it stop me. I really like playing Pauper, and I like casting Dark Ritual, so oh well, we'll get him next time. Thanks for watching, have a great day, and as always, keep storming. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to support the channel. After you do that, open up our description where you can find all of our social media networks, including our Discord, where you can discuss today's deck in that Discord with me and tons of other combo masterminds. It's absolutely free to join, and it's certainly worth your while.